Glad y'all are here. So, as you guys know, today we have Chucky on, who I'm hella excited about. He's like, I'll let him tell you, but he's kind of like, he's definitely a legend. He's done most of Hollywood's hair, and he's full of joy, full of gems, and full of laughter. He's hilarious. So I want to bring him in. Okay, Sharif, yeah, you can come in tomorrow. Come check in with me. Yeah, I'm encouraging you guys. This first like 10, 15 minutes is whenever, as people are coming into the room, I just want to check in with different creatives to see where you are, how you are, what's going on, what's on your mind. I'm looking at it like you're kind of like a co-host. You know, we're co-hosting. You know, I can't do all this by myself, so I need co-hosts. So yeah, so I'm encouraging you guys to, whenever you do come into this room, be prepared to be quote unquote camera ready. I mean, obviously I'm not really camera ready, but you know, it's fine. There's no judgment. It's a no judgment zone. So anyway, all right, Chucky, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you here? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. So excited about this. Bringing Chucky, the hair legend, into the room. Yeah.
Hey!
Yes, a round of
Yay!
applause. Round of applause. What's up, Chucky? How are you?
Good. And you? How's things?
Good. I'm good. Things are good. I'm really excited to have you on today. Like,
Thank
yeah, I've
you.
always wanted to kind of have this conversation with you anyway, like,
hmm
because I'm always interested, like, in all you have going on. So, real quick, let's start with this, and I'd rather you do it. So, I called Chucky yesterday, like, just like a little moment. I was like, oh, yeah. So, I mean, I know who he's worked with a couple people. I was like, so, who are some of your first, like, who you work with? Yo, we were on the phone probably 15 minutes and he was still talking about who he had worked with. So I'm just going to
I
let
got
you
excited.
do it. Like, so give the people an idea of the people that you've worked with. You've had your hands in their head.
Okay, I have to put my glasses on. uh, Last night I just got excited. I couldn't believe. I just was rattling on. I was like, wait a minute, I'm still talking.
I love it.
Yeah. So I put it. I made my list smaller a little, but it's Brandy, Vanessa Williams, En Vogue, Jill Scott, Iman, Janelle Monáe, Lisa Bonet, Jewel, Dixie Chicks, Toni Braxton, Viola Davis, Sarah Jessica Parker, Tina Fey, Serena Williams, Adina Menzel, Mary J. Blige, Little Kim, Stefflon Don, Kim Kardashian, Yoko Ono, Donatella Versace, Naomi, Taraji P Henson, Tyra Banks, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, Bjork, Solange, Tracy Ellis Ross, Alicia Keys, Lizzo, Mariah Carey, Beyonce, Destiny's Child, Jennifer Lopez, Donna Summer, and Diana Ross.
What? That right there is a resume. That is a
It's such a blessing.
resume. That
Thank
is a
you. It's a blessing. It's a
congratulations.
blessing. It's a blessing.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so just that's the once over really quick. And I want to kind of talk about because yeah, you've been doing this for a while and you've had your hands in all these people's hair. So Chucky Love Hair is your Instagram. Tell me when you first fell in love with hair, like, and you knew that was your calling because it's your calling.
I didn't know it was my calling till I was 20, but I loved hair since I was about 3. My mom said I was grabbing hair in people's hair. I was always had my hands as a kid in people's hair. Then I got Barbie dolls, mannequin heads, started cutting the girls' hair in my neighborhood. Then I went to school, and then I stopped, got a Corvette, and thought I was cool with my Jerry curl in the late 80s, and applied to FIT. And still just wanted to do fashion. And then at FIT, I started styling hair. And that's when I knew at 20 years old that it was meant to be
Oh
for
my
the
God.
world, for the world.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, so what was your first gig, your first professional gig?
My first professional gig was YM Magazine editorial with my friend Lisa Fernandez. She was a girl on campus who asked me to do her hair, and she was in an upper class more than we were, like a 1 year graduate program for magazines. And she asked me to do her hair, and I did it, and she loved it. And she said, "You have to go on set with me." So I was on set right off the campus. That was my first gig, and I met Billy B, who I didn't know how big he was then and how big he still is, but it was great.
Oh,
And that
oh
was
my
about
God.
1992, 91.
Oh
92.
my
91.
goodness. So yeah, thinking about that's a whole different landscape than what it is now. So how did you break in? You know, there's no Instagram, there's no DMing, there's no showing portfolios in that way. Like, how did you get to the point where you're styling all these people at that time?
Being in New York, definitely, because New York is a show city back then. Before Instagram, you had the streets of New York. That was your Instagram. You saw
Hmm.
like all the memes were right there on the street, and beautiful hair, and just doing it on your friends and getting their hair ready to go out to shows and then it was clubs and discos and all this was going on. So you could actually show your work out in public. You didn't need to see 1,000 views because you knew that you were in a place where there was 1,000 people and your hair was like this. And so you just wanted to it just spoke for itself. And that was really it. You showed it off, and people gave you cards, and people wanted to know who did your hair and all that good stuff. And that's how it worked.
I
For back
got
then.
you. Okay, got you. So, how did you? Okay, so obviously, as we know, there's a difference in being a stylist in a salon and being a celebrity hairstylist. And again, your roster, you are a celebrity hairstylist. So, again, how did that happen? Where you got into the world, and what are some of the key elements of being a celebrity hairstylist versus just a hairstylist?
Yeah, and I said this on Derek's that being a celebrity hairstylist is taking your shoes off at the door without having to be asked, and to not look where you're not supposed to look, and not to speak when you're not supposed to be spoken, really, or just like think that they're your friend, because they are a client and it's a job. I heard Morel yesterday. They're not your friend.
Yes.
And your parents can be your friend. I see parents say that they can't have their children as their friends, but parents you can. But with clients who are actually paying money for your services, not at all. And that's the difference between a regular stylist. And you're still doing the hair, and you're still applying the same things that you've learned as a regular stylist. Just that like this is the place where you have to have a lot of respect and a lot of dignity for the person that you're doing it for.
Okay, so you've been in a lot of rooms, obviously. So I mean, you naming all those people, you've been in a lot of rooms. Like, what are some of give me one? I know you have a lot of stories, but give me some of your most memorable moments along your journey.
Well, I did my most memorable, thinking about taking your shoes off. I went to do Yoko Ono, and I went to do her hair up in John Lennon's apartment, the actual apartment that he was assassinated outside of. And I was in the apartment where they laid down, and all the iconic Annie Leibovitz pictures and all that, the freedom. I was in that apartment. So I took off my shoes and my socks. Iman and David Bowie, you take off your shoes and your socks, because the socks also have dirt on them.
Oh,
So
they've
you're
been about
barefoot.
this life.
Yeah,
They've
so
been
you're
about that
barefoot.
life.
And it's pretty spiritual. Their house is very spiritual. It was lovely, and you put your feet down. But I did it in Yoko Ono's house, and I lifted my bag up. Instead of rolling the bag, I lifted it up to carry it, because I wanted nothing to touch the ground in their house. It was so sacred to me. And I got to the kitchen where she said we were going to do hair, and she had this full mosaic on the floor. And it was so beautifully done, but it was so rocky. It hurt my feet like the worst rocky tundra you find on a vacation somewhere on a cliff. And I was like, I couldn't deal. And I just smiled, and I did her hair. And she watched Men in Black and laughed throughout the whole thing. And it was so funny to see Yoko Ono laughing at Men in Black Part 1 in the kitchen. But my feet were hurting. And those types of things, just you smile and keep it going. And you learn that you have the respect for that. And that, like, I didn't care that my feet hurt. I was in John Lennon's house, and that's an honor. For a minute, I'll let my feet prick a little. They prick a little in Coach on a plane, and I'm not in John Lennon's house. So it was great.
Oh,
it was great.
My gosh, yo. And I'm sure you have so many stories along the way. So tell me, okay, so what is your creative process, or even just philosophy on here? Because whenever I see you, it's always joyful. Like it's always like you love what you're doing. It never looks like you're working, by the way. Like whether, it's a behind the scenes moment. I've never personally been on set with you. I can't wait till I am. I hope I will be one day. But yeah, it's always like joyful. So what is your kind of hair philosophy and creative process that allows you to kind of maintain that?
I just love doing it, and so that's what really charges me to go back and forth and back and forth. And I'm always like, on the monitor, back on the person, on the monitor, back on the person. I'm like a Jack Russell with a ball. I'm just like, and it's the love of doing it and knowing the spaces between, like the spaces here and here. And knowing that and going back to the monitor, seeing how it feels in the space, and then changing something and just going back and back. And that's really how I work on set. And I guess that was the question, but it is love. Love is definitely it. It's the one area where I felt love for myself, and people applauded, like the one area of all the areas that surround my life, and that love got me where I am today, and for me to fly and to travel and to meet. And it was really the love of that. And so I apply that to other things in my life that I may not have that much love on, but I know hair is love, definitely. Love is in the hair, and hair love, and all those words that have to do with hair and love.
Hair and love, exactly.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you had that poem you did on June's. What was it called? The poem, this book?
Oh yeah, Quarantine Hair Love.
Quarantine Hair Love. Okay,
yes.
So maybe, I don't know. I know you already did that on another segment, but it was so good. I kind of might, if you have it handy, we might do that later. Okay. But tell me about this. What is because also your hairstyle, like, again, you kind of are an artist of hair. It's not like you're just doing kind of a blowout and like, okay, good girl. Mm-hmm. And so what is your research tool? What do you use as research, in your process?
Wow. I love the past. The past is because it's everything that's already been done, and there's so many beautiful styles that can be done. And it doesn't just have to be like European styles or painting styles. It can be from Africa or tribal or like National Geographic. Anything that has something that's historical and different. And I like drawing. I like art. Mm-hmm. I watch a lot of movies. I look at a lot of images. And I look at a lot of Google pictures, and I just get inspired by all the different things, and you can mix them together. And there's a way that you can see a technique done with somebody else's hand on a Google picture image, and then it's somebody else's hand, and then you take it to somewhere where it's like the past, and then just make it bigger, make it more exciting, because they've already seen it like that. So you have to like make it bigger. That's what this world is, expansion. For everyone that comes out is bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what I'm loving about these new kids.
I love bigger. That. Yes. Okay, what skill set, because you've been in the game so long, what is the skill set that is necessary, or what are some key elements that are necessary to thriving in the business in the way that you have?
It comes back to love what you do, and and protect that by responsibility, and as you protect something you love so much, and I protected it a lot, and I really walked in with so much joy, because I really wanted to. I grew up in front of the TV, so celebrity was a big thing to me, and to see and to know that like you're gonna meet that person tomorrow and you're gonna do hair, it just makes you want to go even for like research and really get it, and those things. What was the question again? Because I get rambling. But
I'm with it. You know what? Your rambles are we're good. Keep rambling, but you answer the question. And you know what? I have to acknowledge Vanessa Williams is here in the room, and she had a question. Vanessa, I love you. Hey, girl. She says talk about your work ethic.
My work ethic is I prep a lot at night, and I stay up late. And my mom wanted me to say that because she's been with me a lot of times late at night. I'm almost tearing because Vanessa was very special to me. And I'm glad that she's here. But my mom, I prep a lot. I prep a lot all night long, and I prep and I stay up late, and I get really into it. And my ethic is, and it's all driven by, again, love. Like you can't stop the joy that happens with doing this. And I do that. I make sure that I'm spiritual. I make sure that I'm calm. I make sure that that the conversation is going to be light and happy, and that there's going to be jokes. I want them to see me as a real person, as I see those celebrities as real people.
Yeah.
We all are real. It's just their job, and that's the kind of ethic I go into. And you have patience, and you do wait, and you listen to other people's ideas, and you listen to the celebrity, and you get to know their personality and their emotional standing through conversation. And if you have your antennas upright, you can like hone in on what's really great in their lives and talk about things and talk to clients. It's about reaching the heart. And I said it on Derek's, that they'll never remember the hairstyle, but they'll remember you. They'll remember the conversation and the essence that happened in the room while you were creating the style. And then the stylish, and that's ours. That's what happens without the cameras. And that's what happens. And then it's shown to the public. And then the public sees the art, and they see the celebrity and all their glamour and all their glory. But we see them as real people. And it's a great time. And that's the ethic that I want to carry throughout everything. Even if you're not a celebrity, just a person,
I love that. And obviously you are, because someone like Vanessa Williams is here to support you. And it seems like you have great relationships. People only have great things to say about you. So how important is your relationship building, and how do you go about that, especially working with celebrities? And like you said, a lot of times it's like the black and white version is they're not your friend. But there's also like you want to connect with them. You want to build these relationships. So like, kind of tell me how you've been able to navigate that throughout the career, working with all these people.
Being there when you can be, and that's really it, because when they want you, and I try to be there for them. And it's hard sometimes because there's so many people pulling me from different ways, and agents telling you, well, this way is this way, and this way you should go here and there. But I try to at least like text their people out, say hi to them on Instagram, reach out as much as I can. Just keep in their face, because I do adore them. And it's not just a paycheck. It's really just because I like them a lot. I like that they took the integrity to become famous and put their vulnerability out to everyone. And they travel the world. They eat the great foods. I get so much advice from my celebrities. And Vanessa, she's showed me so much food. I've had so much food. Vanessa and I grew up with Vanessa Williams, and she took me around the world. I call her my angel. She took me around the world, and to Japan and Tokyo, and we ate alligator and lobster, and we danced the belly dance in the Morocco Cafe at Epcot Center, and we did so much together. And I learned a lot from her. I learned a lot from my celebrities. They show me a lot of things, and that's great. That's why I want to be around them. That's why I want to like share. And I already know them as people, not as celebrities. So It's just like another friend. And the icing on the cake is, they throw money at you to get their hair done, and I get to stay in my passion.
Oh my gosh, the best of both worlds. I love it. And you were even talking about how much they've given to you. I was just thinking about how I feel like glam, hairstylists, makeup, the crew, they're such an intimate part of these celebrities' lives, and they're almost like the influencer's influencer. You know what I mean? Like, because you're there with them as they're getting ready, you have all this time with them. And so, like, how is that? Because I feel like a lot of different celebrities, like, the creatives are a lot of the times the one who are making culture, or they're definitely a part of it, because they're in these rooms when these things are being talked about. And then the celebrity goes into the world and has this voice that gives that life. So what about that responsibility? Do you feel that? Like, do you agree with that? And then do you feel
definitely.
somewhat of a responsibility that is attached to that?
Definitely. I feel that the celebrities have a large voice, and they can influence a lot of people in this world. Their voice reaches the planet and the atmosphere quicker than ours. And if you're a spiritual person, if you're talking spirit and changing their ways of thinking, I love when a celebrity says, "I didn't think of it that way." And you're like, I love that, because now they can speak that new way out to the public and bring that to the people, and bring that to the children and the teenagers and everyone that's listening to them and following them. And we have a responsibility to have that conversation with them. to give that to them. It's the only time that the celebrity actually is basically not doing anything. They're not running their lines. Well, maybe they might be running their lines, but they're not really doing that much while you're doing hair and makeup. And there's something about, especially the female celebrities, that they like to talk when you're in the chair. Yeah, everyone they get in the chair and you start talking. You like to talk, and you have to have that talk with them as well. And the responsibility is to bring them to a spiritual point. There's a reason why somebody asked to get their hair done by me, because they might. I always poke and ask them problems in the chair, not problems, but what's going on and how's this going and how's that. And because I want them to communicate, and then I usually kind of have a spiritual answer, which I love, to give back to them, and that's what makes it special. The conversations. It's never the hairstyle; it's the conversations during the hairstyle that can change the world. Hairstyle's not going to change the world; it's not going to change anything.
I love it. Okay, I could do this all day. Tell me, what is the a big misperception of a life as a celebrity hairstylist?
That we're just sucking up all the food from the celebrities and on the boats with them, and that we're not really working, and that they're our friends, and you just stuck the ponytail on in 15 minutes, and you pulled it out the bag real fast. Oh, girl, here, and like, are you kidding?
Oh my goodness!
You are sitting in hallways waiting with your bag, and you're starving while everyone's eating, and you're thinking in your head, in your mind, of what the styles are, and it's different. And people think that it's so relaxing. I guess it's like the celebrity, because it's the way people think the celebrities are as well. I mean, there's celebrities that have problems and bills and everything, child. It's the same as us. It's just the job as a celebrity. And that's with us. It's just the job. And that's the part that is the job. And I say that because the love of hair is when I get into, they say, Chucky, go. And I grab the brush and I start going. And that's where the passion is. But all the meetings and the back and forth, and will it be this? Will it be highlights? Will it be a blunt cut? Will it be this? Will it shine? Will it look full? And all that stuff and madness. And then that's just photo shoots. If you're working with celebrities, sometimes there's an emotional thing. She doesn't like her forehead line. She don't like the way her ears look. There's so many things, and you have to walk on eggs on all of that to get to the promised land, which is when they say go. And then you're like, passion, 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 passion. And then when you see it, it's like, fix it, monitor, fix it, run on set, fix it. And then you get to a point where it's so fantasy, and you fixed it, and you went from all the way back here, all the way up to where you are at this present moment. And I call it my Price is Right moment, when they put the numbers on, they click it, and they say only one right, click it, they have to get all four right. When you click it, and when you hit it, and you get all four right, that you're just like, and that's when you start looking to the side. Oh yeah, girl. Oh yeah, to the makeup artist. Oh yeah, you see, yeah. Oh yeah, fierce. Oh yeah, you see that? Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And then it's all on. Then you're
oh my God,
champagne the pot. The
photography's happening.
It's
then
the
it's celebration time. After
yeah,
all
it's
that.
the best.
So you were even talking about just now what you were talking about. Then the makeup artist and the stylist, whatever. Let's talk about the importance of teamwork and collaboration, because the hair is important, but you're not just going in there just focus on the hair, because there's so much that you have to you complement. So let's talk about teamwork and collaboration.
Yes, definite teamwork with makeup. Makeup's the art. I call hair the frame, and the body is styling, pretty much. And you just have to work it all together. And definitely, you have to be open enough to be discouraged on your hair being changed, or the makeup being changed, or the styling being changed. But it has to work together in an orchestra. But if you have a great art director or photographer, or someone that is really there to see the art direction of all the collabs together, that really is when the magic happens for me. Because there's some things that I don't see, and I go, no, because I'm in my head and I'm 30 years of knowing this. And they're like, no, we just want that, or we want it to go here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then the way he does it or whatever, and they click it, and you look on the monitor, and you're like, this is fucking art. Like, oh my God, this is art. And I learned to step back and to know that, like, you're not the head of anything. There's many chiefs, but you're not really a chief. It's to listen and to know that those people are on set just as worthy as you are, because we're all here together, and God has brought us together to make something, to say something, to show something. And you have to work together with that to really show it, because it's really not about your feelings. It's about the art that's going to be shown to the public. So when people see it, and it's always been that way. That's why women wear high heels and their feet hurt, but they look pretty to everyone. And girls wear weaves and wigs, and it itches underneath, and it's tight and it's hot, but it looks pretty to everybody. But to them, it's like, oh, I wish I had my real hair, and I wish, So it's always for show. It's the business of show. It's show business, and
business of show. It really is.
It
Okay. You were talking about, that you don't know everything, and you want to take advice from other people, et cetera, et cetera. How do you remain like on top of things? Again, you're still thriving in this business. So how do you, even self-educate on, the new trends or what's happening? Like, how do you continue to do that?
Yeah, just keep looking at everything. Look at new techniques. Look at. I mean, I'm excited right now because there's so many people that are going to be showing how-tos to do this and that, and I'm going to learn so much. And I'm afraid to put mine out because it's just like everyone will know that too. And I want to say
people want to see your how-tos too.
Yes, and the how-to is not really what I like. I love the actual action. I love the like, if you went to the movie to see how they made Bad Boys 3, what you want to go to see Bad Boys 3. You don't want to go to see how it's made. And that's how I feel. But
got you. I caught that.
Once again, what was the question?
How do you self-educate? Like, how do you continue to remain like on top of trends?
Yes. Just watching things and always trying to be a step ahead, trying to, where if everyone's doing it on ahead, you don't want to do it on ahead anymore. If everyone's doing it in a magazine, you don't want to do it in a magazine anymore. You want to do it different ways. You want it like jumping out of an airplane. You want, a fashion show jumping out of an airplane where they're all flying out. And you want things that you've never seen before, because if you've seen it before, it's already been done. So that's where I like to take it. That's why I think on Derek's. Hey, Derek, he's here. We talked about the Museum of Hair, and I would love to take our world to the Museum of Hair.
Didn't you do a Museum of Hair? What'd you do at Afropunk?
Oh yeah, I did that whole mural. Yeah, that's what excited me.
That was so good. It was so good. So Chucky they did a hair room. What, you tell them about it.
They did like a room, a black room of all black hair with hot combs and everything, and then they had me curate this mural, and I drew it out. I sketched out the pictures the way it should go, and they had all these people who work on Broadway, and they work on Broadway backdrops, and they made this whole thing for me just by my guidance, and it made me say I would like to do a museum, because it's a lot of in New York. All the museums that are like, where you take a picture, like Candytopia, the Color Museum, the Museum of Illusion, all that stuff. It's all about like things that like you can activate and take a picture of and be a part of. And museums are not just to like look and sit and point. They're like
engage, experiences,
yes. And because hair, we're so used to it being around our face and doing everything that a museum of hair, you can really get up close.
Is there not a museum of hair of any kind?
There is a museum of hair, and it's a woman, like a white woman in the South, that has like small little things that she does with hair. She does intricate things. They're all on the wall. But a museum of hair, and it would be, I would want it to like include everyone, like Joanne Pettifer and Crozilla. Shawnee Crow, and for me to do some things, or just, I mean, all the greats to come together.
Oh, that's fun.
I really, you're going to get me going, because this is something that I really
I want to do it. I want to play. Can I help? Look at me. Always trying to get
yes. You actually can, because I wanted to say, I was saving this, not saving it, but thinking about it last night, what I wanted to say. that what I really would love to have happen for the future of hairdressers and glam is that it starts out with a museum, and it starts out with a place, a base place that we can all go to, and we can have seminars. You know how Apple, I'm getting really excited and talking fast.
I'm with it. Let's go.
how Apple has classes and a Genius Bar and all that stuff, that we should have one place that's centered in New York City. I would love for Frank Gehry to make the building.
Yes!
Yes. And to have like studios for kids who can't do their own things, and places where they can like rent out spots, and to have seminars on how to do taxes, how to navigate in this world, how to get your own plane tickets, how to do all that stuff, and show us the history of who's doing hair, because our generation is going to get lost. The last generations get lost. The generations before that get lost. People don't even know the names like Fran Cooper and all that unless you really know, or Era Gallant, or Way Bandy. And no one knows the names. I can't tell you the names who did Betty Davis or Joan Crawford. I can't tell you the names who did, it's going to be on next week with the first woman to win the acting, the from Gone with the Wind. Her hair.
Oh yeah.
Who did her hair? Who did Dorothy Dandridge's hair? We have no idea, because we're going to get lost. We're going to get lost. We're going to get lost. And a place of museum or something is where we can show the kids what it is, and it should move into an award show, which is what Beverly Bond did for Black Girls Rock.
Black Girls Rock.
Yes. So exactly. we can have well, I want the category for best editorial hair is this person, that person. The best for black hair is this. The best for whatever hair is this. And the kids can actually say, I want to be like that. I want to be like that. I saw them get up on stage, and it's televised. And we can bring our celebrities. The celebrities can choose to not have makeup and go as a statement, or they can have us beat them to the gods, and they present us, like say a Vanessa Williams would say, hi, I'm Vanessa Williams, blah, 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 and I'm presenting Chuck Amos, or whatever, and it would just give us a solidity in this world that would now be solid, and then every name from here on in would be known throughout the generations. And
Chucky,
definitely.
Consider me a collaborator on all of that. I think you should do it. Like, I'm about that life. That's why I even started this platform that gives credits to creatives, because I don't feel like even like in this generation, people don't even know who's doing what, like, unless you kind of know. So that's why I did this. So then on the page, you guys go to it, you see what you like, but it's not like every other blog, because now you see who did it. So it's about who did what for who.
Yes.
So I'm about that life, and I want to be down. I'm down. Me, Chucky's doing a museum. I'm part of the team. It's lit. So let's get into it. Okay. Tell me, you've had so many moments. Tell me, what is your most memorable, like, hair moment, hair statement, red carpet? Like, if I know you've had a lot. So if you have to point out 2 or 3 that you are responsible for.
Memorable red carpet moments?
I mean, it doesn't have to be red carpet. It could be editorial, it could be appearance, just moments. What would like in the museum, if we were doing the museum and we wanted some of your highlights, what are the couple that we'd put in there for you?
I really loved when I did Alicia Keys' hair for the Grammys, and it was really huge. It was the biggest ever, and I don't think she's ever gone that big and curly. It was like way out here, and it was so nice. And to see her walk down the hallway to get to backstage, and everyone going, Alicia, oh my God, Alicia, oh my God, and for her to be out of her box and so free like a bird with his hair, that was a real moment of like hair glory for me, definitely.
Yes, hair glory.
I've had a lot of personal moments that were really like special, and my most personal moment while doing hair was that Orlando Pita chose me to help assist and be on the team to go to South Africa to Nelson Mandela's house while Nelson Mandela was still alive, and we actually went to Nelson Mandela's house, and we were like in the house where he lives, and like in his backyard, and we all. Lisa Mitchell, if you can remember Lisa Mitchell, that's another name that should never go down the past. We were all the models were lining up to meet Nelson Mandela, and Lisa Mitchell, and one model said, "What did he do again?" Some young girl. She didn't know. She didn't know. But we were like, "What? And you're going up to meet him?" Lisa was like, "We're all going up to meet him, us artists." Because there were like 4 black artists, and we all started lining up, and everyone went up, and he touched This is called my Nelson Mandela, if no one knows. The ball on top of my hair is my Nelson Mandela because it was so hot in Africa. That's how I wore it. And I used to wear it down all the time. And I wore it up like this in Africa. And Nelson Mandela touched it and said, I want hair like this.
What?
And he said, yes. And I was just crying. So I don't even know. I was saying that I love you. I represent everyone in my family and in my bloodstream and in my history that wanted to meet you for what you've done for us. And I was crying, and he touched my hair, and that was it. So this is my Nelson Mandela one, but that was the top quintessential, because now that he's gone, and where we're at now, being quarantined for so long, and what it meant for him to be in jail for so long, was really
that relation. Okay, that's a good transition. We're in quarantine. So, which, I mean, it's afforded us all these opportunities to connect. How do you think that, like, what's your perspective on quarantine, like, right now? Like, in terms of the silver lining, at least, like, of quarantine?
Stay in if you can. I mean, do what you can. That's the easiest for you to do. If you're... there's so many people in so many different situations, but if you can stay home, that's the best part, and to try to make amends with, there's not just people living with loved ones. That's what we're seeing on Instagram, but there's people that are living with roommates. There are people who are living with domestic violence. There's children living with people who like sexually abuse them. There's things, so many that are going on in our families, that in our households, that we have to like learn to live inside for now, because it's the only way to save the existence and to save yourself. And that whatever suffering that's happening, you're alive. Compare it to death, which death could be a great experience, but I don't think anyone's ready to really go right now. No one's really like saying, okay, take me. It's great. I understand it. So you have to make amends with that. Like people stay in and try to focus on what your feelings are, and what your feelings are towards that person or other things in your house, to really, and if it's yourself, try to learn a relationship with yourself at this moment, because those are the things that, it's that little roommate in the head that's saying, you should be going outside, child. You should be doing this. I can't believe you're not doing that. You're not working. You ain't making no money. Look at that. Can you believe you're not going to have your rent? It's going to be all, and you have to make amends with that person inside your head here while you're still in the cocoon, ready to become the butterfly, which I was saying before. And then I saw this Reverend guy, he said it on Instagram, and I was like, oh my God. But you're in a cocoon, and this is meant to be. They say to breathe, to relax, and to calm down, and to like recharge the cells, and to do all that. And we've been moving so fast that we haven't been able to sit back and breathe. And the ironic thing is that this disease, this virus, is attacking breathing. It's attacking. So we actually vibrated this resistance period, so we can have our liberation, because because we are not breathing ourselves. We're looking at this, we're typing this, we're running here, we're on planes, we're doing this, we're thinking of things. Work has gotten so overwhelming. How to fill out taxes, how to fill out this, how to do everything, and we're moving so fast, and we never really looked at ourselves. We never really put ourselves in the bath, really like ate something good, really like felt the sunshine. And that's what this is. This is an attack. We've attacked ourselves on that, so we're not breathing in our normal lives. That we vibrated a virus that also attacks the breathing, so we can get back to the normal. This is the answer. This virus is the answer. This is not the question. You can't lay in the cut of pain. You have to like know what it's for and move forward to it. But you have to know in your way and sit home and figure out what way you're going to find the vision through this pain. It was on Oprah, Super Soul Sunday. Pain pushes until the vision pulls. The pain will push you so much that you see the vision, and the vision will pull you right towards it, and you'll be in the glory of the vision and not of the pain. And that's what we have to do now to get there. And it all starts from there, because when you start to feel that way, then the ideas just start popping in. You're, oh my God, You're looking at something and an idea pops and you're like, that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be for me. You don't have to look for it. You just have to feel it, and it will come to you as you move towards the vision.
You know
just
what?
Find it.
You know what? I'm about to log off of here. Chucky, that is the word I needed. So that's why I'm here. Like, you know what?
Yes.
It's for the people, but that is for me. Like, I needed
Yes.
to hear all of that. Thank you, Chucky.
Yes.
That was epic. Okay. Derek had a question earlier. What do you see as the future of set life for hair, like editorial? Like, what do you see that?
I want to say, of course, it's going to be testing. It's going to be, at first, it's going to be testing. It's going to be vaccines that make that everyone has that can make, not vaccines, but like AIDS. Excuse me. Sorry, I did it, Wendy Williams. It's going to aid in making it feel like the flu. So you'll just have the flu. You won't have it as bad. And that'll bring us back in. I do think that the masks will still happen. The gloves, maybe there's something else with gloves or fingertips or something that like you don't really get into, you don't really touch. Yeah. But the real future I'm seeing, because I do believe that flat page will be gone. The flat page, everything I've been saying about the flat page where it's like it's on a piece of paper this way and they never see the back and how you can editorialize. I think there may be 3-dimensional editorials. Ooh. That may be something where you turn your phone up and it's 3-dimensional. There's so many creators out that are sitting home right now that are learning this, and that's why it's going to be a glorious return, because everyone's sitting home cooped up with all their passion, with all their knowledge of whatever their craft is. And I think it's going to be 3D. I'm going to have to learn how to not make it flat. I may have to bring it around because it's gonna show the whole entire thing on. So I thought that may be like the future.
I like that. Okay.
But in terms of, I think it's the vaccine, and that will get everyone back together.
Gotcha.
A card. I think it's going to be a vaccine that you can see. A lot of people and conspiracy people are saying it's a chip that they'll put in your arm. So then you go to the airport, where we have to go like this, Rockefeller. Whoop, whoop. We just put the chip up, and that's going to be. So you go whoop whoop, and then you put the chip, and then it says "and you're fine," and then a temperature, and then you're off to the airport.
It's so much, but okay.
We'll get used to it.
Yeah, we'll get used to it.
We got used to it.
It'll be a new world. It'll be a new world.
September 11th.
Okay. We did. Okay, so I only have 7 minutes before it cuts me off, and I hate when Instagram. I hate when Instagram. Exact 6 minutes. I hate when Instagram cuts me off. So I want to try to get through some of these.
Yes.
So, you work with so many people. Is there anyone that is in your head that you're like, oh, I have to get my hands on, or I will get my hands on this person that I haven't yet?
Oh.
You're like, I mean, my hands have been on
next
everyone.
Question. I'll come back to it. Someone else. Okay. I always wanted to do Miss Piggy. I was like, I always wanted to do Miss Piggy. I always wanted to do Lisa Bonet, but I'd done her already. So like, it's like stopped.
Yes, Lisa Bonet. Okay. All right. Cool. What's your favorite song?
Everybody Rules the World by Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Yes.
I'm a new wave kid at heart. New wave. I'm not rap. I'm not rock. I'm new wave.
Okay. Got you. What was your the first music video you fell in love with?
Ooh. Oh my God. Jody Watley, one of the Jody Watleys.
Yes, Jody Watley.
She was the first. Yeah, Real Love. Jody Watley, Real Love. Yeah. I begged my mother to come to New York to see the concert, and it was the first like runway, and she was black. She was like the Black Madonna.
Yes, she was. I loved her. Okay, quick. Let's do an either or and a word association real quick. You ready? Okay. Editorial or red carpet?
Editorial.
Compassion or tough love?
Compassion.
I love it. Paris or New York?
Both, but New York, it's my home. It's my heart. New York's my heart.
I love that. Wig or weave?
Weave.
I
don't want to see no Silence of the Lambs. The Silence of the Lambs, like with the skins coming up.
I cannot. No. Short or long?
Long. What?
Curly or straight?
Curly.
Obama or Oprah?
Oprah.
Natural or processed?
Processed.
Blow dry or air dry?
Blow dry.
High pony or wild and loose?
Wild and loose, honey.
Call or text?
Text.
Yeah, same here. Okay,
I
now
mean, I want to call, but no.
Let's do word association real quick. Diana Ross.
Goddess.
Hair.
My love. Passion.
Blowout.
Heat.
Lisa Bonet.
Everything in my heart.
Passion.
Attracted by vibration.
Discipline.
From experience. Experience.
Vanessa Williams.
Angel.
Art.
Invigorating.
Spirit.
Bigger than myself.
Oh, yes, bigger. Everything to me. Okay, wait. Let me see if I got a question real quick. I'm so sorry, you guys, that I didn't get the question.
Vanessa.
Oh, somebody just said Chucky forgot Janet Jackson. You did Janet too?
Honey, I've never did Janet Jackson.
Oh, okay, so that's one. Here we go.
And I could never step on Janet Zutan's feet because she's the best. She inspired me to want to do hair. Janet Jackson's hair was inspiring. When I found out who it was, that I will never take her job.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, Chucky, this is all the time I have. I think we only have 2 minutes before I cut this out. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Just stay in love and stay in the moment, because everything will come to you. There's nothing that God loves us enough to let us to say. He loves us enough to say, just be in love, and the answer will come to you. He did not make us to have resistance upon ourselves, and if you don't have that resistance, that's the only area hair that I don't have resistance in fully 100%. It's non-resistant love, and that's why my world of my job has expanded in that area. So if you can do that in other places, it'll expand everywhere.
Yes, everything to me. I love you so much.
Thank you, CJ.
I'm calling you later about this museum. We're gonna figure it out. I'm here.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you so much, Chucky.
You're welcome. No, God bless.
Bye. Oh my gosh. Yo, that was so good. I knew that was going to be good. I love Chucky. Legend, spirit, it's all good. He's all good. So, thank you, Chucky, so much. Tomorrow, I have Jelani, who is amazing. He's a Broadway actor. He's right now in what's Jelani in? He's in Ain't Too Proud. He plays Eddie Kendricks. It's an amazing show. He used to be in Lion King, Smokey Joe's Cafe. So he's a career Broadway act. And so just want to hear from him. I don't think we've heard from the Broadway community yet. So I wanted to talk to him. It'll be really fun. He's fun. It'll be a feel-good Friday. It's going to be fun. Yeah, guys. So that's our show for today. Thanks for checking in. Derek, thanks for checking in earlier. Chucky, I can't thank you enough for the gems you dropped and the conversation. It was so good. And yeah, all you guys, keep going, keep creating, listen to everything Chucky said, love, start with love, and yeah, we gonna be all right? Okay, cool. So I'm about to clock out. Peace. Have an amazing day, guys. See you tomorrow.